Okay, so 45 minutes into the video, my first cut of this video, specific video, the complete collection, the complete May 2025 comic haul, I realized, oh shit, I'm going in the wrong order. Basically, I like to go by author than series, and I had some books that were not stacked correctly. I don't know how that happens. Let's check. I'm actually going to consult my little thing here, where I take the picture and I show on Instagram, because that's the last time I did anything with it. So let's see. Where are the Ed Brisson books? No, I have it right. Huh. That's strange. Maybe it was the way I stacked it. I don't know, but I didn't have all the Ed Brisson books together. Alright. Let's get into it. The complete May 2025 comic and graphic novel haul. That's the difference. Trades, the collected editions I refer to as graphic novels. The floppies I call comics. Usually I'm not that OCD about it, but that's why I say in the description, that's why I say in the title, complete comic / graphic novel haul, month of year. Now, sometimes I don't get comics, like not all the time. For the longest time, I was just getting collected editions, no floppies. But recently, I have been getting back into the floppy game. No reason specifically. It's not no reason specific. Yes, there's a specific reason, but it's not. It's usually because I choose to, and that only makes sense to people who know that the reason for why I don't get floppies. The reason why is I just prefer to get the trades, but sometimes they don't collect certain issues, so I get the issues, I get the floppies myself. It's not often that it happens, but it did happen this month. Now, the first one, versus, this is issue 1. The third party seller I bought this off of gave me issue 1 and not volume 1. I have since bought myself volume 1 of Versus, but yeah, it was really annoying to get the wrong book, the wrong type of book. The issue 1 rather than volume 1. And the third party seller that gave me issue 1, not volume 1, is called Stoop Shop of Park Slope. The only reason why I want to mention them is because they never said it was issue 1. Now, I'm not saying that they're liars or that anything like that. I'm just saying be careful with that third party seller. They may not know the difference between an issue 1 and a volume 1. Hey, if you want to get issue 1 for the price of volume 1, go ahead and go off there. Go to them. Or if issue 1 is like $4,000, you're like, hey, maybe if I get volume 1, which is like $2, maybe I'll get issue 1, and then I just got it for a steal. Hey, that might happen. That's why I'm not saying go out of your way and not purchase from them ever again. They're liars. They conceived. No, none of that shit. No drama whatsoever. I'm just saying those are third party sellers. Be careful. Be cautious, because everybody makes mistakes. And quite honestly, with how long I've been doing third party sellers, buying books from third party sellers off Amazon, for this to be the only time that it's happened is crazy to think about. Because I've been purchasing books off third party sellers from Amazon for a long time now. Okay. So I just want to show it. So when I'm going to do this copy, if I already have volume 1, it's redundant. I'm giving this book away to an Instagram follower. I've already determined who I'm giving it to. So it's repaying the favors he's done this for me 3 times now. He's given me books from him, like he's giving me comics. So I want to repay the favor. But the first time he did it, he said, hey, I have this book, and he just so happened to be some extra goodies. I'm doing the same to him. I said, hey, I have this book, you want it? He said, yes. Alright, and here's some goodies. Extra goodies. I hope he doesn't have that book. Wait, actually. Okay. Now the next floppy, am going to keep, unless it turns out that so this is Punks the Comic, the CBLDF one-shot edition. Now this is the one-shot from the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, a non-profit organization that is helping to keep comics alive forever and ever. I think, I want to say specifically for independent publishers too, not just comics in general. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive, and I'm right in that regard. So they said this for Punk's the Comic. It's not included in the trade, because I think the trade came out before this one-shot did, which is kind of weird to think about. Like, why not just wait? But that's what happened. It's written by Joshua Hale Fieldclove. Don't know how to say his name exactly. But the artist, I think, and then the writer is Joshua Hale. And then the artist, I believe, is Cody Chamberlain, because he's the only other name credited here. They don't have a credits page, so they normally have a credits page. I'm just going by the copyright page. There's no actual credits page here. This is a preamble. It's an introduction. Nothing about the writer or artist. Yeah, it's very weird. And then you just get into the book itself. And yes, this is very weird, holding up a floppy rather than a trade. Because again, I'm not used to getting a bunch of any floppies, really. I haven't gotten floppies in so long that I don't exactly remember what I used to do. I do remember it. I do vaguely remember showing the interior artwork. But I don't know if I ever stopped doing that. I don't know. I just thought that's something worth mentioning. But that's it for the floppies. Now we're getting on to trades. And honestly, so a good thing about doing a second cut is there were a couple other mistakes I made that I'm like going to like really try not to make this time around. Alright. First one up is Supermassive Volume One, which is specifically called 2022 to 24, and that's because it collects supermassive issues from 2022, the annuals from the years of 2022 to 2024. Really cool that they do that. They just have their own collection for this series. Written and drawn and colored by Various. But here's the interior artwork for Supermassive. Now, if you want to get this book, get at least the books that are here. If you want the complete story, but you're gonna be very, very lost if you just start here. Now, I don't have all these books here. I at least have volume 1 of all these, but not the most recent volume. So here's the credits page. I guess you can zoom in and you can zoom in. But other than that, I'm going to stop showing that and then move on. But I specifically got it because of Matt Groom, the writer of Dead Lucky, and I think that was it. But it was just one of those things, like, I was gonna get it on the Kindle, but get a trade. I had money, why the hell not? Alright, next one up is Rifters, which is written by Brian Potion and Joe Troman of Fall Out Boy fame. The artist is Chris Johnson, and Mike Englert is the colorist. And here is the artwork, the interior artwork for Rifters. And this trade collects all 6 issues of this miniseries. Does not say Rifters Volume 1 anywhere on the trade, so I imagine it's all 6 issues of the miniseries. I've been surprised before. Alright. Next one up is a thick book, and that is Revival the Compendium by Tim Seeley, and with artwork being done by Mike Norton, coloring being done by Mike Englert again. Okay, so this is going to be kind of hard to show off the interior artwork for this book, so I'm going to do it like this. And unfortunately, that's the best you're going to get it. My hands are already slipping, so I'm sorry, that's all you're going to get for the interior artwork for Revival. You know what? Just because you guys are such loyal fans and have been getting such great comments recently, I'm going to grab my original trade for Volume 1 of Revival. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. It's my library's copy of Volume 1 of the original Revival trade. Now, why I do that from the library? Well, because it's an Image Comics compendium. So here's the interior artwork for Revival. Now, it's just a novelty. I do want to read I also want to read the oversized hardcovers for Revival. I mean, library has. Just kind of like, it's a novelty. I'm still going to keep my copy of the compendium. And hey, if they don't have Volume 5 of the hardcovers, even though they say they do, and it's interloaned, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the compendium. Best of both worlds. Alright. So next up we have... Oh wait, no. Okay, so that's another good thing why I did a second cut, because I didn't say what this compendium collects. Okay, so the compendium collects all 47 issues of the hit series of Revival, the free comic book day short story, the crossed over with True, that's that issue, and then that's it, right? I'm going to go by the actual thing here. Okay, so 1 to 47. So it's True Revival one shot, and then the free comic book day issue. It's not shown here, but that's what it also collects. Alright. So yeah, written by Tim Seeley. So Tim Seeley is one of those writers I do not fuck with at all. Not, but like fuck with in a sense of like. And that's slang term of fuck with. I just have not read anything by him I've been super wowed over. Now, why did I get Revival? Well, there's a TV show coming out, and I had Volume 2 for the longest time. So why did I have Volume 2? Well, my library had a Volume 1. I was like, hey, you know what? I got Volume 2, so we can read them both at the same time. Man, ain't that cool? Yeah, that was really stupid to me to get. That should tell you guys how long I've had Revival Volume 2 for. That is how long I've had Revival Volume 2. Because nowadays, I wouldn't even dream of doing that. But back then, and it was cheap enough. It was $6 for the trade. And not used, I might add. So I just decided, the hell with it. We're going to do that. I know it's stupid, but let's just do it. And I almost immediately regretted doing so after. I think even then, like, it was like a last-minute decision. I was like, should I? And then I did, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have. I did start reading Revival, and that was alright. So, there's that. But recently I've been like, you know what? And I had... So, the other thing is... So, Revival was from my aunt. I'm not going to say specifically what each book was from. Again, so Rifters and Supermassive I bought at the beginning of the month. That was not birthday haul at all. I mentioned that earlier, but I can't remember. It's the second cut. But I did want to mention that. But I'm not gonna mention specifics for every single book. Just some exceptions. You'll see why that is later on. But for the most part, not going to mention specifics. But anyways, I got it from my aunt, and it was kind of at the end. Like, she was the last one who asked me what I wanted for my birthday. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want. I want to get a comic, but I don't know which comic. And I decided to hell with it. Let's get a thick-ass compendium, you know? Because it's cheap enough on Amazon. It was only $40 on Amazon. And the list price is $60, so a steal. So, it just all of those meshed together into a perfect circle, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. And also, I usually am OCD. Like, I need everything by the author. Almost like it's all or nothing for me. I need everything by the author from the publisher, being Image Comics. Again, all or nothing. And Tim Seeley, not the biggest fan of his writing. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna care. So let's get Revival. So that was my thought process behind behind asking for and owning Revival, rather than the plethora of other books I could have gotten. Alright. Long-winded explanation is over. Let's move on. Next up, we have Echoes by Joshua Hale Fialkov. That's how you say his last name. That's how it's pronounced. Or it's... Yeah. That's how it's spelled. Not how it's pronounced. It's how it's spelled. The artist being Rushan Ekdal. And this coin collects issues 1 through 5 of Echoes. Now, Echoes, it may seem familiar to you guys who have seen my complete April haul. Because I had shown off the hardcover, digest, small-ass version of Echoes. I did not like that I had the small-ass, digest, hardcover version of Echoes. Because when I get a hardcover, especially from Image Comics, I expect it at the very least to be standard size hardcover. Don't need to be oversized or absolute size like the recommender hardcovers are. No, to have it just be standard size is enough for me. But smaller than even the trade, that's fucking bullshit. And when I didn't know it until I bought it. And when I bought it, I was like, you know, and when it arrived, I was like, you know what? It's still, I still have it and everything. I guess it's hard to explain. That's convenient. So it was kind of my OCD. It was acting up, and I'm like, you know, I'm glad to have it. Don't get me wrong. And hey, it's the same size as this book and all that, yada yada yada. But I'm still thinking of getting the trade later on. And then this month rolled around, and I was like, fuck it, we're getting it. Also from eBay, and from a very, very incredible 5 stars all around, A triple plus third-party seller off eBay called Comics, as with an X, Zone. They are just above and beyond. Very quick as they possibly can be, and they just above and beyond, 5 stars all around, no complaints whatsoever. Them and my comic shop. Buy from the, if you're getting from eBay and you see both those sellers, do not hesitate to hit buy. Confirm pay. You will not be disappointed. Alright. So we did that. I know I showed the artwork. Oh, I hate that feeling I didn't show the artwork. We're only 4 books in. I know I showed the artwork for Revival and Rifters and Supermassive and Echoes. So let's move on to perhaps one of the books I never thought I'd own at all. And that is Mark Waid and Troy Hickman's City of Heroes, which collects all 6 issues of City of Heroes. But specifically, issues 1 through 3 is called Hard Crash. And that is written by Mark Waid, with pencils done by David Nakayama, inks by Rick Basuda, and then colors by Sonia Obek. Then here is the artwork for the first part of City of Heroes. Now, usually I don't do this, because usually I assume the entire series is done by the same artists. But I know for a fact that this is not. So we're going... Now, I'm not going to check for each and every book. Like, we have 5 volumes of the same series. I'm not going to check each volume. We're just going to assume it's the same for the entire series and go with that. Hell, Revival may not even be the same artist throughout. Actually, hang on, it has to be, because there was no second artist credited. Alright, but now I need to now I need to go to the second part. So this was used very good, by the way. I just decided to get it used very good. So the reason why I never thought I'd get this book is it was infamously out of print on Amazon at the very least. And it was like 60 bucks, 40 bucks, maybe 30, and I was like, absolutely not. And I just so happened to looking up Troy Hickman's work, because the next book, Common Grounds, and I saw this one, City of Heroes, and I was like, I completely forgot about that, number 1, and 2, let's get it. Alright, so City of Heroes issues 4 through 6, 4, 5, 6, yep, is called Smoke and Mirrors, and that is written by Troy Hickman, with pencils done by Wilson Tortosa, and then colors being done yet again by Sonia Obek, except she is teamed up with Zach Matheny for issue 4. / part 1. They say part 1, I'm doing the math, and I'm saying it's issue 4. You want to know specifics. And there is the artwork for issue 4. Now, no real expectations for this book. I just wanted to own it. You know, which is a book that I knew was infamously out of print. It's based off a video game that everybody seems to have fond memories of, especially Penguin Z0. Yes, that Penguin Z0 of Hunger Games Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 fame. I really hope he makes it into the new Hunger Games movie, unless I'm not watching it. If he's not in it, I'm not watching it. But anyways, you just have fond memories of it, and it's just one of those books that's like, kind of like it's the... Even if it ends up being the worst comic I've ever read, it's at least a novelty to own it. Alright, so the next one up is called Common Grounds. Specifically, Common Grounds Volume 1, Baker's Dozen, 2007. Although I'm used to saying 2007 second printing, so I think it's just called Common Grounds Baker's Dozen. Anyways, this one I thought was just written by Troy Hickman. I don't think so, because actually no, it's not. Look at all of these writers, all these creators that I'm showing. Showing off. Let's look at this shit. Ethan Van Sciver and George Perez and Dan Jurgens, these big name writers on this book that even I haven't heard of before. And I should know because it's Image Comics. But it's an older book. Definitely got thrown under the rug. Swept thrown under the rug. But that book definitely got swept under the rug after it came out. Because I've never heard of it. Until I was looking at Troy Hickman, Image Comics. And that was only because of Common Ground. So I'm like, oh, what else has Troy Hickman done for Image? He also did a series called Twilight Guardian. No trade. Add on the Kindle. Maybe there is a trade, but I wouldn't see anything about there being a trade. But, yeah, trade collection, collecting all the 4 issues in the one shot from pilot season. Now, I did reach out to Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter. Haven't heard back from him yet. I reached out to him asking him if he remembered being working on the comic, and nothing back from him yet. Which is really weird because usually he's pretty fast with his replies. Now, I've not reached out to him in a long time, so things could be different nowadays. But still. And it's nothing against him. It's just saying it's worth mentioning. There's a reason, method behind the madness. Okay, so do the artwork for that. Alright. Next one up is The Mantle, written by Ed Brisson, with artwork done by Brian Level, who also has a cover, and colors being done by Jordan Boyd. And I did just remember that I was supposed to go over the any and all quotes by any big names, not including IGN. It just says, this book really good, IGN. It doesn't say who specifically from IGN is saying that. I'm not going to mention it. There is the most unbelievably stupid thing, because there's no reason not to say Brian Johnson, comic book, CBR. You know? It's just stupid not to say that that's who said it specifically, because it's obvious on the website saying it. It's the person writing the article. But The Mantle, I'll show the artwork again. I feel like I wasn't good enough. Wasn't satisfied. This collects 1 through 5 of The Mantle. Next up is The Field, yet again written by Ed Brisson, but this time illustrated by Simon Roy and colored by Simon Goof. Like cough, but with a G. And here is the artwork for The Field, and The Field Volume One collects all 4 issues of The Field. Now, it's just a bit dark, so let's... Oh, really isn't... it's too far into the book. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Okay. So we did that, The Field... Okay, and so far, no big names. I know there wasn't any for this book, or this book was so old that I guess I didn't think to put anything there. Echoes has nothing. The Compendium for Revival has nothing, which is pretty weird to think about. Again, just the website, not the person. I have no idea why they do that. Makes no sense. Okay. And those of you who might be thinking to yourself, or maybe putting two and two together, being like, hey, have you ever wonder if your name will ever appear? That'd be awesome. And I hope when it does happen, I'm not informed at all. Like, say, I'm reading the issue of Transformers, and I say Transformers is one of the is possibly the best reintroduction to these characters we could have gotten, yada yada yada, and that quote shows up on the tree itself, and I am credited, and it says my YouTube name too, like Justin Sunstrom, this Justin Comics, perfect, that'd be awesome. But honestly, most YouTubers don't get credited. It is kind of weird to think about. Like it's honestly, it is more surprising. It's more of a compliment for the YouTuber to show up on the book, you know, the quote, than it is for the author to get that quote. Or the publisher, whatever. Alright, next one up is Comeback, written by Ed Brisson, with artwork done by Michael Walsh, and it's colored by Jordi Belair. And it collects all 5 issues, right? Yes, of Comeback. And here is the artwork for Comeback. Yet again, all 5 issues collected in this trade. Next one up is the Violent, and so some third-party sellers, when you get used very good, sometimes you'll get like completely lucky, and there won't even be any real blemish on it whatsoever, like a Common Grounds. But sometimes you'll get this. That's pretty goddamn ugly. And pretty fucking stingy of that third-party seller to do. Now, the blemish only shows up on the margins, except for one page, and even then it's like borderline. It's like a little bit above the margins. And which is kind of funny is that this is exactly what I said to out loud when I saw the blemish, because it was live. I just noticed blemish. But because I just noticed a blemish, yeah, like, and when I get each and every book from Amazon, third-party sellers, I just get the book, I thoroughly check every little crevice, every little corner, every little everything, to see if there's any big blemishes whatsoever. And I'm surprised I didn't see this the first time around. Because if I may be legally blind in one eye, but I use every last ounce of my strength to check if there's any blemishes whatsoever with my comics. Yes, I am that OCD. And no, I will not change my ways. But this one collects the Violent 1 through 5. It is written by Ed Brubaker. And is written by Ed Brisson. It is drawn by... It is illustrated by Adam Gorham, who is also the co-creator. And then colored by Michael Garland. I'm going to show the artwork yet again. Even though I tried it like twice already. I know that I did. At least once. When I was trying to fuck you. A very funny joke. And it doesn't show up throughout the book. It's like the last, like, 10 or so pages of the last issue of The Violent. So, thank God for that. Just still pretty annoying. Like, at that point, just say used good. It really fucking stingy of you to say, well, it's only these few pages, so technically speaking, it's used very good. It's like, yeah. But also, you want to be trusted, don't you? In the future. And it's already, it was half-price books, or it's thrift books. Half-price books and thrift books are the hugest pains in the asses for third-party buyers like myself. I already am sacrificing getting it used very good. Already sacrificing waiting longer than I should because it's a third-party seller and then I get to get by USPS. Already sacrificing the possibility of it being shipped from like Oklahoma, let's say, and then they're undergoing forest fires. I did get one from California, and I was like, oh, but. So always sacrificing all of that. The least they could do is be a little bit courteous here and there. And I know even that is asking a lot. But if I could get books from not them, I would. It's just the last resort. And not that awful. I would probably give them like a 5 out of 10 if I had to give them a rating. 5 stars out of 10. They're not awful, but they're not great either. They're average. I do have one little story. Half Price Books Ruby lost my address. I still got the book, and thank God that they came to their senses and didn't have to go all the way back to the third-party seller's warehouse. It just went to my house one day later. I think what happened was it was USPS. But Half Price Books Ruby was already taking fucking forever for it to ship. All the other Half Price books, those came in just fine. It was like 14 days. It was ridiculously slow. And it was still standard shipping. Because of that one instance, I'm never buying from Half Price Books Ruby. I would sooner pay over cover price than ever buy from Half Price Books Ruby ever again. And Half Price Books in general, you will not see very often on this channel anymore. Because I'm now on eBay and buying from eBay, you will not be seeing Half Price Books very often anymore. Just on special occasions like this and Christmas. So birthday, Christmas, Half Price Books will be shown. But other than that, I'm going to try my best to never order from them ever again. Because they're that bad. And not that bad. They're that annoying. Alright. Tangent is over. Now we're on to more comics. Thank you for sticking with me for that tangent. Alright. How long are we going, by the way? 40 minutes, right? 31 minutes. Fine. 9 minutes behind. But at the end of the day, Wonder Book is really good. They're on Amazon, third party off Amazon. Why pay more online? I just haven't seen them very often. I hope they're not going out of business because they're awesome. They were like Wonder Book, but better somehow. And then Wonder Book, they'll give you a bookmark, one bookmark per order. So if you order 5,000 books, you only get one bookmark, but still one bookmark per order. Stock and Trade is also in it. All these guys are really fast too. Faster than you would imagine they would be. Stock and Trade, faster than, they say May 27th to May 30th, you get it May 23rd sometimes. That early. Not always that early, but sometimes it's 2 to 3 days before they said it would come in, in the earliest date. So May 25th instead of May 27th is when the book will come in. And Stock and Trade also gives you a bookmark. Some of the half-price books give you these weird little, I'm not going to show it because actually I should show it. They'll give you these weird little, look at myself. Okay, so these weird little coupons, where is it? I can't find it. Alright, these weird little, oh, here it is. Weird little coupons from DoorDash, your first order you can get up to $130 off from Factor, which I think is pretty cool. It's still awesome. Oh yeah, here is the bookmark from Wonder Book. I love they always do this. And they advertise themselves in the back. Nice little bookmark. I do use these often. In fact, I'm collecting them, and I always love getting the new ones. The new ones? Why I say it like that? I don't know. Alright, more books. But yeah, half price books, I think it's just because of how well the other third-party sellers pamper and spoil me. But it's every other third-party seller. The only reason why I'm mentioning half-price books, and you may be thinking, oh, you only order from 5 third-party sellers. Obviously, 2 out of 5 are going to be really good. No, it's a bunch of them. Bookworm, New Dimension Comics, so many that I can't even think off the top of my head. They're awesome. But hey, none of them have given me issue 1 instead of volume 1. None of the half-price books have done that. Again, only one of the third-party sellers out of the billions I've been buying from over the years, and the billions of times I've been ordering from third-party sellers in general, none of them have given me issue 1 instead of 1 time. Have given me issue 1 instead of volume 1. So I always get what I'm getting. And it's always in a condition that they advertise it being. Sometimes I have to ask them questions, but for the most part, it is as advertised through and through. Even from half-price books. Again, I ask myself more questions with them, but for the most part, it does make sense to me. Alright, now then, we're on to Sheltered Volume 1 by Ed Brisson. Wait, actually, it is a 3-volume series. So, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, which collects all 15 issues of Sheltered across 3 trades, so 5 issues each trade. So Sheltered Volume 1 collects issues 1 through 5 of Sheltered. It is co-created and illustrated by Johnny Christmas, but co-created, written, and lettered by Ed Brisson, colored by Shari Shakahama. Here is the artwork for Sheltered. Now, with these multi-volume series, as I believe I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm only showing the artwork for Volume 1 and within the first few pages, just in case any spoilers show up. And I don't know, yeah, I'm showing these off for the first time, so I don't know if there's going to be any spoilers. Yes, I did show the artwork for Volume. Come on, brain. You did. Yes, I did. Okay. And for comeback, come on, brain. Don't be thinking he didn't do it. You did do it. Alright. Sheltered Volume 2 collects issues 6 through 10 of Sheltered. And Sheltered Volume 3 collects issues 11 through 15 of Sheltered. Now, why did I do that when I said it collects 5 issues across 3 trades? 15 issues across 3 trades, 5 issues each. You guys do the math. I know you can. But I like being complete. And what I mean by complete, well, my main inspiration is a YouTube channel called Near Mint Condition. Specifically, Omar from Near Mint Condition. And he does everything. When he's going over books, he shows you the artwork. Even if he's he does the same thing, end of the month hauls. Now he does end of season hauls because he's so busy he can't do end of the month like I do. But he used to do end of the month. And he would say, if he got Sheltered, he would say, all three volumes of Sheltered, Sheltered Volume 1, you know. Maybe he won't say it collects issues 1 through 5. I do that, but he'll show the interior artwork. He'll tell you who the writer is, who the artist is. He has more than that, actually. He does all of that. And when he's going over the Marvel books for each month, he also does go over what issues are collected in which trade. Now, it's easier for him to do that because none of them usually do more than 1 volume per week for Marvel. No one does. So usually he's just doing 1 volume of the series, but still. And he still shows the artwork, still talks about the book too. Like I do. Especially if I've read it before. So that is why I do all of this. That is why these videos end up being longer than they should be, ? In my opinion, they are not long enough. Because there's always something I could have mentioned or forgot to mention. Okay. Moving on. More comics. Volumes 1 and 2 of Tartarus. Tartarus Volume 1, As Above, So Below, collects 1 through 5 of Tartarus, which is written by Johnny Christmas, with artwork this time being done by Jack T. Cole. And here is the interior artwork for Tartarus. And Tartarus Volume 2, Threading the Infinite, collects issues 6 through 10 of Tartarus. Now, Tartarus, that Instagram follow that I mentioned to you guys in the video that I'm going to be giving comics to him in exchange so he can, repaying the favor and all that. He did ask about Tartarus. He said, what'd you think about it? Because he thought I'd read it. Because I think they all get confused about what is a comic haul and what is a... I've read these books before. But it's comic reviews between comic hauls and comic reviews. Hell, I think some of you guys get confused. I do mention it, though, so... If you watch the whole entire video, honestly, at the beginning, you read the title. But some of these I have read, like Revival, I've read some of it, and there's one coming up called Rat Queens. I read almost all that omnibus. So yeah, I am going to talk about how I felt about the book when I read it last. But it's different from a comic review because I haven't read it recently. Comic review, it's my most recent read of that book. Now, sometimes I do go over the comics I'm reviewing, in which case, it's, some things I haven't read before, and that can be a little confusing too. But even then, I say, here are the rereads, here is not the rereads. But, so he did ask. So he was like, oh, what did you think about it? And he got confused. And I had said, this is not a comic review, these are comic hauls, and thus I'm not ready yet. But I will be reading it very soon. And to, yet again, repay the favor, Tartarus will be one of the first books I read. So I'll be getting a review of that very soon. And I'll tell him how to talk about it. By doing a review on my Instagram account and tagging him, but I will be reviewing it for him. Or reading it for him, interviewing it for him. Alright. Firebug, written by Johnny Christmas. Artwork is done by Johnny Christmas, so story and art, but the colors are done by Tamara Bondvillain, or as I like to call her, Tamara Bondsvillain, for no other reason than it sounds similar. Now this collects, so there's an anthology series called Island, and this collects all the Johnny Christmas stories in the Island anthology. I think is really cool. I think even Image Comics should do this more often. Collect in trade format what these writers have done for anthologies, or just the anthology themselves. They haven't. For the most part, they do it, but they also drop the ball sometimes too. Very annoyingly so. Irritatingly so. Okay, so Firebug. I showed the artwork, credited the writers and artists and all that shit, and I did the artwork. I feel like I didn't. And I feel like I didn't do it for Tartarus. Come on, brain. I know I did. Quit saying I didn't do it. Or saying, like, did you do it? Did you? Are you sure? Because I may not have. I may have forgotten. I know I did. I know I did. But is there a specific 2-page spread I remember seeing? I'll do it again for Tartarus. Almost dropped it. So here's the artwork again for Tartarus, so maybe not again. Ugh. Okay. And I do it right away, so I don't know why my... Alright, so here's Volume One of Versus, which collects issues 1 through 5 of Versus, not just issue 1. And it's written by Ivan Brandon, with artwork done by Nick Klein and one other, and Asad Ribic. I believe Asad Ribic does the artwork itself, and then Nick Klein is color art, right? Yes, sir! And 1 through 5, I was right. 1 through 5 of Versus. And it's called Versus Volume One, Front Towards Enemy. And I don't remember what the third party selling was, to sell it on eBay, who it was, for Versus, so unfortunately I can't say. He's good though. He was good. No complaints on eBay in general, honestly. So far. That's gonna happen. Okay. Now we have a 4-volume series, that being Drifter. So Drifter Volume 1, Out of the Night, is written by Ivan Brandon, with artwork being done by Nick Klein. There's a full color art and a cover. I think it's pretty epic. It's a lot to do. So I always love crediting the creators when shit like that happens. But obviously just in general, but added bonus when that shit happens. Alright, Drifter, Volume 1, Out of the Night, collects issues 1 through 5 of Versus. I'm sorry, not Versus, of Drifter. Drifter Volume 2, The Wake, collects issues... It's also 999. Alright, so another thing... So actually, no, I'll do it after. Mention after. Okay, so Drifter Volume 2, The Wake, collects issues 6 through 9 of Drifter, which is 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 issues. That's not a whole lot. It's gonna make for a pretty thin trade. And it's less issues than Volume 1, which is $10. So you know what Image Comics did? Volume 2 was also $10. Now moving on, it wasn't $10, but I think it's very commendable of them. They don't always do that. Hell, volume ones aren't also volume ones aren't always $10. It seems to be the choice of the writer, not the publisher. But anyways, so who gave Drifter praise? Jason Aaron, Jason Latour, Kieran Gillen. Is that it? Jonathan Hickman. Is that it? That is it. So, big names. Now let's go back in time and let's see if there's any other big name writers who said, hey, this book is good. Brendan Graham said, hey, Firebug, check that one out. Tartarus? Let's see. Nope. And nope. Again, just the website, not the writer on the website, or the writer behind the article. I don't know why they do that. I think it's because they can take it out of context and make it sound like they're saying, "Oh, check this one out." Not, it's good, but here are a bunch of problems with it. Oh, I like this the artwork because it has happened before. I don't know why or how they're able to get away with it. But they are, and it is kind of annoying. But you know, I don't go by, oh, Kieran Gillen said this book is good, I'm gonna get it. No, it's do I want to get it myself? Regardless, yes, I do. So I'm gonna get it. Oh, Kieran Gillen got praise. That's an added bonus. All right, Drifter Volume 3, Lit by Fire, collects issues 10 through 14 of Drifter, and then Drifter Volume 4, Remains, collects the remaining issues of Drifter. That being 15 through 19. Okay. Now we're on to Cross Bronx, which is written by both Michael Avon Oeming and Ivan Brandon. And the color art is done by Nick Filardi. So the artwork should look pretty familiar. I know for a fact that Michael Avon Oeming does the artwork here because his art style is very distinct, even to someone who's colorblind, or art blind like I am, art blind. Even to someone who's art blind and colorblind, I am the kind of person to walk out of the house with a shirt and pants that do not match whatsoever, so I'm colorblind. I'm also art blind. I can't tell you guys, like, oh yeah, this is this guy's artwork. Now, there are definite exceptions, like pretty damn substantial. If it's really substantial, like I can obviously tell the difference between painted artwork and line art, like the regular hand-drawn artwork. But for the most part, I can't tell the difference. But Michael Avon Oeming is one of those exceptions. So I know for a fact that he did the artwork. So it's like, did he also write it? Don't know. It just says by Ivan Brandon and Michael Avon Oeming. And this one collects issues, what is it, 1 through 4 Cross Bronx? Yet another thing I know I forgot to mention, my first cut. I'm pretty sure it's 1 through 4. Yes, sir! 1 through 4. How long has this video been going on for? Another thing is I'm legally blind in one eye, so I'm going to do this to see how long it's been going on for. 48 minutes. I'm a little bit fast for only being 48 minutes in. Okay. Slow down a little bit. Crimeland is the next book, and it's written by Ivan Brandon, but this time he's teamed up with Felipe Ferreira for writing. Dialogue is done by Ivan Brandon. Now, this book was from a third-party seller who, now, this is very much a chicken before the egg or egg before the chicken question, because is it the third-party seller or is it the publisher? I don't know. But the glue is so new that it's staying together, for the most part, pretty good. So there's no real, nothing to really worry about. But when I'm doing this artwork here, I'm showing, oh yeah, here's the artwork, yada yada yada, cool. That. So maybe I find some paste, or I find some whatever paste they use to keep the binding together, and I just slather it all over this book. I don't know what I gotta do. But this book is so damn sticky. I don't know what the fuck they used for this book. Because this right here, when I open, I can't, look at this. It's ripping. That's bad. Thank God. That was the last page. But also really bad. Alright. Now, I believe this is an OGN because there's nothing on the... Nothing saying collecting issues blank through blank. So, we're just going to say Crimeland is an OGN and move on. Also because I'm tired of looking at this book. Sorry, who's the artwork? Who's the artist? Is Raphael Albuquerque. And then colors is done also by Raphael, but also Chris Peter. But at least, like, so it was really sticky, and it was like some pages were, actually some pages are still sticking together. But for the most part, I've got them unstuck without any problems. So there is that. And again, like, reading it like this, no issues whatsoever. It's not coming apart any more than it should be. And honestly, at the end, I don't even look at the sketchbook thing. I don't care about that. I just care about the book itself and maybe some variant covers. Which there are none. So, whatever at this point. It says Crimeland by, it doesn't say pinup. Or variant cover. I don't know. Yeah, it just shows a bunch of variants, and then I don't know if it's a pinup or not. Ooh, one of these are stick cover. There we go. I'm unstuck. So we just heard that and it got unstuck. No ripping, like no like residue. It tore apart just fine. All right. Next one up is NYC Mech. I kept saying NCY. So I'm just gonna say New York City Mech. New York City Mech Volumes 1 and 2. Volume 1 is called Let's Electrify. It is written by Ivan Brandon, but this time the co-writer is Miles Gunter, and the artist is, well, let's just see who the artist is. I believe one of them is Nick Filardi. I remember that much. And they write, yes sir, but the artist is Andy McDonald. So written by Ivan Brandon and Miles Gunter. Artist is Andy McDonald. Colorist is Nick Filardi. And this volume collects issues 1 through 6 of NYC Mech, or New York City Mech. Then, Volume 2, Beta Love, collects issues 1 through 6 of Beta Love. Sometimes Image Comics does that. They don't just say 7 through 12 of NYC Mech. They say it's called NYC Mech, Beta Love. Again, it's the choice of the writer and artist of whether or not they want to do it like that. It is annoying in my opinion. I think they should always go in order and not be like, Bitter Root, the next movement, issues 1 through 5. No, just say issues 16 and 20 of Bitter Root are collected in Volume 4. Now, it is still called Bitter Root Volume 4, the next movement, collecting issues 1 through 5 of Bitter Root, the next movement. So you know, while this does go back to issue 1, it is not issue 1 of this series itself. This is Volume 4. I need Volumes 1 through 3 beforehand. Same with this one. Volume 2 is right there. So, it's not a Hellboy. Hellboy is one of the most, if you're a Hellboy collector nowadays, that must be one of the most aggravating things ever, because you're not 100. I wonder if some of you guys are not 100% sure if you do have all the Hellboys, and this new Hellboy book is the newest one for you, or if you're just one behind, and you'll never know, because it's called Hellboy, the Silver Lanterns Club, and not Hellboy Volume 417, the Silver Lanterns Club. Hey, maybe even Mike Mignola has not run out of rum. Even Mike Mignola probably doesn't even remember. He's written so much fucking Hellboy, and so many Hellboy spin-offs. There is way too much Hellboy. It's a great series, I love it, but if I was collecting it, I think I'd be sick of it. Moving on to Zombee by Miles Gunta, who is the only writer. The artist this time is Victor Santos. And this one, what does this collect? Oh no, I don't know. Because I gotta check. I got a text right here. But Zombie, I think this is a one shot. I think this is an OGN. I don't think this collects any issues. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna assume. Now the book design is done by Kelsey Shannon and Miles Gunter, and then the the center fold is also done by Kelsey Shannon. Now, why am I mentioning her name specifically? You'll see in a second here. But here is the interior artwork for Zombie. That's why I said it's so weird. That's how it's spelled. Next one up is Bastard Samurai, which is co-written by Michael Avon Oeming, and also Miles Gunter. And it's a Samurai Noir, too. So, and it's actually called Bastard Samurai Volume One, Samurai Noir. Now, I don't think it's collecting any issues. Let's check, though, because we always gotta make sure. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Issues 1 through 3 of Bastard Samurai as collected in Volume 1. I didn't even mention that the first time I showed off these books. So, here you go. But Bastard Samurai, this time... Okay, so it's conceived, co-written, and inked by Mike Avon Oeming. Written and co-created by Miles Gunter. Penciled, colored, and co-created by Kelsey Shannon. So there's that name again. But this time the artwork is in color. Glorious, glorious color. So these ones I had for a long time ago. I got Miles Gunter's Dark Fang. And I always been off of what Image Comics credited the writer as doing. And all I saw was Dark Fang. I was like, okay, that's all that writer's done, right? Wrong. Now I have to go to this other website, not Image Comics themselves. They are wrong. How? How are you that fucking wrong to where you can't even name you didn't even know what your own writers have done for your publisher? It's fine if you don't do Ethan Van Sciver, because I think all he has done was that Common Grounds, which maybe even he doesn't remember working on. I get that. But if Amazon can tell me right like that, snap of your fingers, hey, this is what he's done, why can't the official website tell me? And what they're doing now is they're taking away books. Like there's one that Nomen Omen series I read. That was written by Marco Babucci. Not credited anymore. Doesn't show on his credits page for Image Comics. His official credits page. That website is awful. Now, it might be the writers, but I doubt it. Because why wouldn't you want to be credited for your own work? I think Image Comics, the website, is going down under, and pretty soon they're going to say, hey, we have a new website. This site's going to be down. We're updating it so much so it's probably going to be gone for about a week. They're just good at telling you guys, like, hey, here's this upcoming book. Here's this new release. Other than that, it's pretty bad. Like that website pisses me off. So what I do is I go to League of Comic Book Geeks. They are like 100% awesome. Sometimes they don't credit something though, and I hope that I never have to find out the hard way. But anyways, let's move on to Trover Saves the Universe. Now, I didn't know this going in, but much like with City of Heroes, this is based off a video game. Specifically from the Rick and Morty universe. In fact, this is from the co-creator of Rick and Morty. Now, that should show you guys that I don't watch Rick and Morty. Like, tell me you don't watch Rick and Morty without telling me you don't watch Rick and Morty. I do want to check it out now, though. I always have. It's just the fan base kind of ruined it for me. And what I've seen so far seems to be a bit too obnoxious. Like, at least, like, it's the voice acting. So reading it, maybe it's going to be better than actually watching it. But maybe what I'll do is I'll read this first before checking out Rick and Morty. If I really like this comic, I will check out Rick and Morty. It's just, and I know it's a good show. I know it's worth checking out, but just from what I've seen, it's been like not my cup of tea. But I'm going to give it a shot, like an actual shot. So 1 through 5 is collected in this trade, and it's written, drawn, and colored by Tess Stone. And then go to the artwork again. For Trover Saves the Universe. Is it a play on words for Grover? I would say yes, but probably not. But maybe. Alright. Next up is The Closet. Now this one I have read, and this one was really good. Now the first 2 times I read it, I didn't understand it, so I was really disappointed. But then I got what the point of the comic is all about. It is not what you think it's going to be about. Without giving too much away, the whole point behind the comic is, the story, is not what you think it is. I'll say that one more time. The point of the story is not what you think it is. So do not go into this thinking it's your traditional, based off the cover. Do not judge it based off its cover. It's more than that. And once I found out what that was, I like this comic infinitely more than I did the first 2 times. I still liked it. It's still investing as hell, but it has a weird ending. And it's maybe going to be somewhat disappointing for some people. But when you finish it and you say to me, hey, I found this to be disappointing, I'll then do a spoiler review. I'm going to do a spoiler review anyways, and I will tell you guys what the point of the story is. And then you'll see it and like, oh my god, I want to reread this again. Just like I did. The same exact thing happened to me, and I reread it knowing what the point of the story was, and I liked it that much more. This collects 1 through 3 of The Closet, written by James Tynion. Artwork is done by Gavin Fullerton and colored by Chris O'Halloran. Now, did I read this already? Yes and no. I had the original issues. I decided to get the trade after years of not having the trade. I was like, you know what? I want the trade. It's at Newbury Comics. Let's get it. Okay. Next one up is Saga, Volume 12. Now, this is the one exception to my not showing the artwork for the multi-volume series after Volume 1, because I don't have Volume 1 right now. I have it on my shelf. But I didn't get this month, so I don't count it. So spoilers, I'm sorry, for Saga Volume 12. If you want to just close your eyes until I say, hey, no more spoilers, I'll do that. So, spoilers right now. Here is the artwork for Saga. Those of you who just want to see the artwork and don't really care. I don't think it was anything too major. So it's Saga Volume 12, and it collects issues... Fine, don't tell me. 67 to 72, I believe. We're going to check to make sure. Now, this series is 12 volumes in and still going strong. No signs of stopping anytime soon. Yeah, so 67 to 72 is collected in Volume 12. 67 to 72. Okay. Oh, sorry, the writer and artist. Written by Brian K. Vaughan. Artist is Staples. Okay. And then... Okay, good. Alright. But, yeah, there's an incredible series. I love it. I read the first 2 volumes, and then a little bit of Volume 3, maybe. I forgot where exactly I left off on, because I was reading the Compendium, and I was reading it on the Kindle. And it was a long time ago. But it was, like, one of the best things during the pandemic. It kept me alive during the pandemic. So, great series. Love it, love, love it. I know that I can stop reading it until it concludes, and not feel like my money is wasted. Even if it has a shitty ending. I know for a fact that it was money well spent. Alright. Next up is another multi-volume series, and that is Transformers. Written by Daniel Warren Johnson, with artwork done by Mike Spicer. And... So Daniel Warren Johnson is the writer and artist. Mike Spicer is the colorist. So, and here is the artwork, which is incredible. And this is the Image Comics reboot of Transformers. So as I was saying, like if I show up on the back here and it's like, this is the best reboot I've ever read, yada yada yada. This is why we do reboots. Sometimes it should be like this. Like sometimes reboots are a bad idea. This is not the case with Transformers. Absolutely phenomenal. And I have my full name and then my YouTube name. Alright, so, Volume 1 of Transformers Volume 1. Robots in Disguise. collecting issues 1 through 6 of Transformers. Then we have Transformers Volume 2, Transport to Oblivion, which collects 7 through 12 of Transformers. Side note, quick little side note, you can tell that Volume 1 is worse and way more worn out than Volume 2 is. That's because my dumbass didn't think to take out the display copy and replace it with the one that was on the shelf. Because the display copy means people are doing this. Oh, Transformers. Oh, I really like. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's really cool. And they're doing all that with it. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the same when I first read it. That's why I'm not freaking out. But I was like, I should grab the non-review copy, or the non-display copy, rather. Yeah, 7 through 12, Volume 2, and then Transformers Volume 3, Combiner Chaos collects issues 13 to 18 of Transformers and a story from the Energon Universe 2024 special. Now, I just said at the beginning of the video, I'm a completist. I need everything by that rate or nothing. No, all or nothing. I saw it in the comic shop. I was like, fuck it. Gonna get it. It's all 3 volumes, all trades, breaking every last rule. Now, the one that started it all is the writer of this, Void Rivals, being Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman has written so much for Image Comics that I will never be able to get everything he's done. Not even up to this point, I'll be able to get everything he's done. That'd probably be 3 months straight of nothing but Robert Kirkman books. And I don't want to do that. I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. That's a lot to add to my shelf, too. So, the hell with it. Whatever piques my interest, I will get from Robert Kirkman. Like Tech Jacket, and Battle Pope, and of course, Void Rivals. Alright, now, on to the task at hand. Void Rivals Volume 1, More Than Meets the Eye, is written by Robert Kirkman, with artwork done by Lorenzo De Felici, and colors being done by Mateus Lopes, and issue 5 being colored as a guest colorist, Patricio Duplici, but just for issue 5 is Patricio. Rest is colored by Mateus Lopes. Now, Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici both worked on Oblivion Song, also from Image Comics. Thought that was worth mentioning. Okay. So, Volume 1 of Void Rivals, More Than Meets the Eye, collects 1 through 6 of Void Rivals. And this, I think, has to be read before Transformers. One thing I did mention. I briefly mentioned, I kind of alluded to it. I was like, oh, this came out, then Transformers was announced. I believe you do have to read this before Transformers. Maybe not required reading, but maybe you should. Alright. And then, Volume 2, Void Rivals, Volume 2, Hunted Across the Wasteland, collects issues 7 through 12, and a story from the Energon Universe 2024 special of Void Rivals. 7 through 12 Void Rivals and Energon Universe. Now, what's Energon Universe? It's G.I. Joe and Transformers smashed together. Because Image Comics knows what the fuck is up. Okay. Now to the second pile. Over an hour. Nice. This, and I think my longest videos ever. Because we still got a good little pile to go through. Now, one of them is a huge ass omnibus, so I don't think we're halfway through. I just think it looks like it, and I didn't realize it until I just saw it. Alright, so, little break here. I'm going to do a little intermission, and stack these books here, because I don't want to stack them the way I was stacking them before. I'm just having them on the other side. That's fine even then, but it was just easier. Okay, now, yet again, I'm alluding to something I mentioned earlier, where I said I'm going to use books to the Instagram follower. So, when does all come about? Well, I got Precious Metal from Image Comics from a third-party seller of Amazon who was notorious for being shit. Just absolute fucking shit. And I was like, I'm not going to cancel the order, I'm not going to freak out at them or anything like that. I'm going to wait till this book comes in. And when it comes in, it comes in. But I'm getting my own copy, a second copy. And if both copies come in and they're in perfectly fine condition, everything, I will give one copy to the Instagram follower and then keep the other copy for myself. Instead of going through all the hassle of returning and getting a refund for $20. I lose $20, God forbid. And that is how that all came about. And then I just said, hey, you know what, this book and that book, yada, 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 and add it to the pile. But that's the story behind getting 2 copies of Precious Metal. Okay, so this collects all 6 issues of the miniseries, and so this is the copy that I'm giving to him. So the third-party seller ended up being just fine. Some little blemishes here and there, but nothing too grandiose. In fact, I don't know if I should keep this copy or the other copy, because there's blemishes on both, and I'm kind of like, well, this is the one that isn't as bad as this one isn't as bad as this one, but also they have this blemish, and yada, yada, yada. Alright, so 1 through 6 of Precious Metal. Who is it written by? Who's the artist? Let's go over that now, and then the interior artwork. Okay, so, created and authored by Ian Bertram and Darcy Van Polgeest. But Darcy Van Polgeest is a writer. The artwork is done by Ian Bertram and colored by Matt Hollingsworth. So yeah, it says created and authored by Ian Bertram and Darcy, and then it says written by Darcy, and it just says written by Darcy, and it says 2 different creators, 2 different authors things, like the writer and author. I don't know what that means either, but there you go. But yeah, 1 through 6. So each issue is pretty damn long. At least double the length of your average issue for any comic. Not just Image. And here is the interior artwork for Precious Metal, the Little Bird spinoff, which is actually the prequel. So what does it say? It says Precious Metal from the world of Little Bird. Okay, but this is the prequel, from what I've been told. Alright, so this is the copy I'm giving away to the other boy. Now, don't be just calling up in the comments saying, hey, how can I get on this giveaway train? You can't. It's a one-time, it's just repaying the favor. Now, I haven't, because of how many comments I do have, I haven't thinking of doing that. So if you want to one day be lucky enough to get some comics from me, do follow me on Instagram. Again, I'm gonna make a post on when this video comes out. I'll make a post saying, hey, here's my Instagram. You guys have been really good about commenting, so hey, remind me. I haven't done it yet. Because again, you guys have been really good commenting and all that. I've actually made comments, like really good comments too, like exactly what I was talking about. I was saying, hey, comment more, guys. This is yada 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 yada. The thing I was bitching and moaning about, I got what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted, and nothing more, nothing less, nothing less. Honestly, more than what I wanted, but not in a bad way. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, and I was just to say I don't do giveaways often. Honestly, I can't afford to because of shipping costs, you know. Anyways, I'm not near my condition. Anyways, next up is True War Stories. Now, this is written by Various, so I'm just going to credit what the cover says. Transcribed and edited by Alex DeCampi and Iraq war veteran Kai Grimpar. Nothing about who the artist is, unfortunately. This is an anthology, a bunch of war stories, true war stories at that. It's transcribed by those 2 writers, but these stories are written by actual, I think at least, actual people who lived through it. Like, they're true stories, the person themselves, I believe. So 15 true tales of American service members overseas are brought to life in a graphic novel form. From the heartwarming to heroic, from Vietnam to Afghanistan and everywhere in between. Edited by superstar comics writer Alex DeCampi, who's a murderer. She bullied and escorted to suicide. It's murder. I call it murder. Everyone else should. Not saying you have to, but that's my 2 cents. Anti-Iraq war veteran Kai Kurempar. The stories featured art from several of comics' finest creators. I don't know who the artist are. It wasn't saying it who it was. Now, thick ass trade, $16.99 cover price. Amazon says $20. And I don't know, because this was a gift from my sister. I don't know how much she paid for it, because it's not going to show what the price was when I sent it to her. So hopefully it was only $16.99. Oh god, oh my god, I almost just freaked out. I got a little notification that my iPhone is dying and my iPad's dying, and I thought it said you're out of storage. I would have flipped my shit. everyone in the world would have heard how loud I was screaming. Everybody in the world would have learned. Everybody in the world would have heard how loud I screamed. My God. But anyways, I got my sister. Don't know how much she paid for it. Shouldn't say don't care. But the point was that Amazon's lying, and it's Amazon for you. Sometimes they get away with it because of how thick the trade is. I think I did go back to what Image said at first. Maybe they realized Alex Campy shouldn't be given every last cent. So I'm like, well, she has to be given every last cent. And they're actually, no, this proceeds goes. It just says proceeds from this book will be donated to service-related charities chosen by our contributors. So maybe Alex Campy chose a shit one, or they thought they choose a shit one. So they're like, hey, you know what? $16.99. I don't know. I just realized I'm kind of insulting them. Didn't mean to say that. But anyways, moving on. Alright. Next one up is Joe Pruitt's Untouchables. No, I had no idea this book existed. I thought for the longest time I had nothing about Joe Pruitt. Didn't. Big surprise. So there's another one he did. I think it's out of print because it's not available anywhere else. But it was saying on Amazon, currently unavailable. And sometimes I'll say that for like something like Wayward Deluxe Edition Volume 3. It is available elsewhere, but it's not on Amazon. But it still says currently unavailable. We don't know when this book will come in stock, so no, it's weird. Alright, anyways. Joe Pruitt is the writer, but John Cassie is the penciler. Chris Dreyer is the inker. Sometimes you don't get the inker. Cover artist is Galen Showman. Alright. This collects Untouchables 1 through 4 and Crime Wave issue 1. Pretty damn cool they collect an issue that isn't going to be even connected to Untouchables. And maybe it's a bonus. I doubt that's the case. I think it is just part of Untouchables, but one of those kind of funny instances. Coincidences maybe? Alright, no, instances is the right word the first time. My brain is kind of shorting out right now, as you can tell. I've been doing this for how long now? An hour and 16 minutes, and I still gotta go through a bunch of books. Alright. So I did that, the artwork, how much issues there were, all that. Alright. Moving on to, you're going to hear this writer a lot because there's a bunch of books I got from this writer. This is Debris, written by Curtis J. Weeb, with artwork done by Riley Rossmo. Colors is done by Owen Genny. And that's it. And this collects issues 1 through 5, I believe, of Debris. Maybe issues 1 through 4. But here's the artwork for Debris. Nice little 2-page spread there for you guys. And then how many issues it collects? It collects, 1 through 4. I was right. So 1 through 4 of Debris. Actually, I said 5. 1 through 4. Debris. Who Debris? No. That doesn't make any sense. Debris? No. The Intrepids, Volume 1, yet again written by, Volume 1, Clash with the Cyber Bear, yet again written by Curtis J. Weeb. The artist this time is Scott Kowalchuk. Now this says Image Comics, the interior says Image Comics presents The Intrepids, Mad Scientists Are a Girl's Worst Enemy. Thought that was worth mentioning too. Figured that was worth mentioning too. And this collects The Intrepids issues 1 through 6. And here is the interior artwork for The Intrepids. Now, Curtis J. Weeb did also, along with Johnny Christmas and Ed Brisson, also did a series called Pisces. No trade, had to get it off the Kindle. That's fine. But again, thought it was worth mentioning. Grim Leaper, written by Curtis J. Weeb yet again, but this time the artist is... So it's Grim Leaper, A Love Story to Die For. So Volume 1, Love Story to Die For. Written by Curtis J. Weeb. Aluso C. Santos is the art, coloring, and letters. And it collects issues 1 through 4 of Grim Leaper. Again, completist in me feels the need to mention all this shit. At the cost of us losing daylight. But it's worth it in my eyes. Because the daylight isn't complete darkness yet. Okay. Green Wake Volume 1. Nothing on what it's called. So, Sometimes it's just called Volume One. They don't say anything else. So Green Wake Volume One. Writer is Curtis J. Weeb. Artist is Riley Rossmo, who is also the colorist. And this collects 1 through 5 of Green Wake, right? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Interior artwork, which at first when I saw the interior artwork, specifically for Volume 2, looked very dirty. I was like, oh shit. Is this the third-party seller fucking me over again? No. It was just the way the artwork was. And I was deep sigh of relief when that happened. Green Wake Volume 2. This one is actually does have a little subtitle. So it's Green Wake Volume 2 Lost Children. Same creators, but this time it's a little bit. Oh, no man. 6 through 10. It's a little bit more worth your wear than I thought it was. Not too bad though. Just this first little page. Again, use very good. Sometimes get screwed over a little bit. Sometimes they are like, yeah, well, actually, we can do this, and you can't do anything about it because you got you paid for, and they throw the middle finger at you. They flip you off. Some third-party sellers do that, and that's why again eBay is gonna be my go-to home for the longest time, forever. No more half-price books. Except for Christmas and birthdays. Peter Panzerfaust, Volume 1, The Great Escape. And this is 5 volumes of the Peter Panzerfaust. Now, I read Volumes 1 and 2, thanks to my local library. Volume 2 was called Hooked. But after that, it didn't have anything. So, I was left hooked on Peter Panzerfaust. Wasn't completely hooked, but I liked it enough to want to buy it myself for the longest time. And again, that's why this comic haul, I should really subtitle as being the fucking finally I got these books comic haul. Ones I've been putting off for way too long. Anyways, moving on. Peter Panzerfaust, Volume 3, Cry of the Wolf. Volume 4, which is called The Hunt. And then Volume 5, Until Morning. Now, each and every volume, I'm assuming, is written by Curtis J. Weeb, and the artist is Tyler Jenkins, and the colorist being Alex Solazzo. Now, Volume 1 collects, because they already said a subtitle, I'm just going to say Volume 1, Volume 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so Volume 1 collects 1 through 5 of Peter Panzerfaust. Now, it's on the back. Oh, I didn't do artwork, did I? Going way too fast. Right, slow down. Slow down. Artwork. Just for Volume 1, though. Alright, so Volume 2 is 6 through 10. Sold out series. Volume 3 is 11 to 15. And actually they covered 2, so I'm just going to say what issues for each volume. Volume 4. Why is it on the back? It's bullshit. I thought it was, though, wasn't it? I need to look harder. I'm pretty sure it's 16 to 20. And Volume 5 is... Yes, it is. So Volume 4 is 16 to 20. Volume 5, 21 25. Alright. 25 issues of book. Next up, we have this. Dia de los Muertos. Another anthology. Now, I'm just going to do this. So it is... Curtis J. Weeb does do a story in here. That's why I'm counting it as part of the Curtis J. Weeb pile. So here is this part, the credits page. Pause the video if you need to zoom in and all that shit. But I'm moving on my end. Then here is more credits pages. Yet again, pause, zoom in if you need to zoom in. Moving on my end. And then here's the interior artwork. And for all these anthologies, I'm just going to assume that it's a OGN, meaning it doesn't collect issues. It's just all in one. Okay. Let's just do this. Do this too. Because that was kind of a bad 2-page spread. Here's a better 2-page spread of the artwork. Okay. Now, other thing I want to mention, it was used very good, but they came through for me and they gave me a signed copy. Epic, epic, epic. Now, does that mean it's worth a whole bunch of money? No, I doubt it. But it's a nice little novelty. Nice way of saying, hey, I know you hate getting used very good to last resort. We're going to pamper you. All right. Rat Queen's Omnibus by Curtis J. Weeb and also Ryan Ferrier. An incredible, absolutely incredible series. I love it. It's fantasy done right. It's fantasy at its best. It's incredible. Everything I thought I wouldn't like. I didn't think I liked this book when I first read it. And then after issue 1, I loved it. It's one of those books that I'm going to keep talking about. Now, one thing I do hate about this little printing is that it almost seems like maybe it's Amazon. I hate to say it, but this should not be that close to this. This should not be that close to this. I don't know why it is that way, but it's fine. It's not that close. It's not that bad. All right. So now this is going to be a little bit difficult to do. So unfortunately, we're just going to go over two writers. It's just two writers, but two illustrators. Rock Upchurch and Tess Fowler. No, I'll go with them all. All right. Illustrated by Rock Upchurch, Stejpan Sejic, Tess Fowler, Owen Geeney, Priscilla Petrades, Moatat, Max Dunbar, William Kirkby, Casey Silver, colors by Tamara Bonvillain, Marco Lesko, Kelly Fitzpatrick, Chris Gutierrez. Bunch of creators and artists and all that shit. Okay, now... Oh, and this thing too. Yeah, Amazon is a little bit annoying sometimes, even with hardcovers. There is the interior artwork. Now, at the end of the day, I love that Image did this. They're like, hey, you know those Marvel and DC omnibuses? You know how the presentation is awesome in those? Well, we're going to get as close as they possibly can to replicating a Marvel or DC omnibus. Because we're Image, this is Rat Queens, it's incredible, it's awesome. It's one of the best series I've ever read from Image. This is great. I love it. Alright. Dracula by James Tinian with artwork done by Martin Simons. Right? Yes, sir. Okay. This collects 1 through 4 of Dracula. The Universal Monsters Dracula Image Comics, one of the hell you want to call it version of Dracula. I read the Black Lagoon Lives one. That was pretty damn good. I'll be reading this one very, very soon. And thanks to my local library, I'm doing the novelty thing. It happened. Ran out of storage. Because this iPad is terrible. And now, I had 2 books left. 2 books left. They couldn't wait till I was doing the little actor thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, yada, yada, yada. But I showed all the books. So it's not that big a deal. It was just this stuff I say after that. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I do want to say this. I want you guys to hear it. And it was just, oh, okay. So that's fine. I acted accordingly. What I did was YouTube was too many gigabytes again. It's a little glitch that YouTube has. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what YouTube is. The app, it's just weird. It does that all the time. It's really annoying. And I had I do everything I need to get the iPad to have good storage, to have the right amount of storage, to where I can do videos like I've been doing videos forever and ever, and still not have that happen. iCloud, I pay for iCloud. I don't know. But this is part 2. I don't know. I'm gonna text my cousin. I mean, that's what I should do. So, this might end up being that video where you guys see it and you're like, wait, this makes no sense. You have 2 videos in one. Why are you saying this is the second video? Well, I'm going to try and merge the 2, see if I can. If I can, awesome, there you go. But if I can't, I can't. But here we go. Like we said, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. It collects 1 through 11 of A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. It is written by Rick Remender, with artwork done by Andre Lima Alujo, and Crystal Halloran is the colorist. Again, collecting 1 through 11 of A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, and here's the artwork. Why does it stand out so well? Well, because it's an absolute edition. Image does this sometimes. Again, it's the Creator's Choice Awards, haha. And Rick Remender loves doing that. And then we have this, which is Viking by Ivan Brandon. It's even bigger than Absolute. It's like crazy big. It's Viking Volume One, the Long Cold Fire. It collects 1 through 6 of Viking. Let's stick together. Where is it? There it is, right here. Sorry, I didn't stick together. I was just wrong. Collects 1 through 5 of Viking, not 1 through 6. 1 through 5 of Viking, written by Ivan Brandon. I'll go over the artist in a second here. Here we go. So yeah, just 2 books. My iPad couldn't wait for that long. Now, it's not really the iPad, it was YouTube. There's some weird glitch where it has more, it says it takes up more storage than it actually does. And I didn't think it was that long ago that I checked it and said, oh no, just 1 gigabyte. It's like, okay, I'll wait till then. But even then, I keep it. Nick Klein's the artist. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna try and look it up myself. My cousin, I just said my cousin because he knows all that good little stuff, all that stuff. You know, he knows everything about that, all that. Because I want this video to be an hour and a half long. I'm gonna try and find a way to merge the two. I don't know how to do it, but I want to do it. Maybe even the iPad will tell me, hey, you can merge doing this. I hope I don't have to pay for anything. Like, there's an app and it says, oh yeah, you can merge, free app, free download, but give us $20 a month. But I don't know. But end of the month comment call. Hey, I might just do it in 2 parts. I'm gonna upload, at the very least, I'm gonna upload these both at the same time and just say part 1. And maybe I don't know. I like doing it all at once. But I can't here. And I'm not doing all that again. That was an hour and a half. I like how the cut came out too. Like if I was like, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I didn't mention this, I didn't mention that. So you know what? Let's just do it all over again. No, I'm like right now at least 100% satisfied with how the video itself came out, regardless of the interruption. But that, as they say, is that. Yeah, I'm absolutely defeated right now. Because I said to myself, it's not going to happen. We had a little scare, but it was just saying, oh no, you got to plug in your iPad, and that was it. And I again, with the iCloud, I didn't think this would be an issue anymore. But it is. Because I paid for iCloud, for them to put all the photos and videos on the iCloud. Which I think does mean, no, you don't have... And I know it did, because I got such a drop in storage space. I don't know. And why not do it on this phone? Well, there's audio issues, so I can't do it off there. And I think this has a better case than this does for mounting it, displaying it. And the laptop is just awful video quality. And why don't I get a new iPad? Well, I don't have that kind of money. I probably do. I could invest in doing that. Maybe keep this one for the Kindle, and then the new iPad is just purely videos for YouTube. So I absolutely never have to worry about that. And that's another thing. I don't keep the old videos on here. Once I upload this video, I'm gonna delete this upload on the iPad. So more storage for me now. I don't know. I should have checked before. I blame myself, but I also blame YouTube. Half and half. And the iPad. So 3 people to blame. One's me. I should have checked. I should have known. Should have remembered. But I was just so excited to do this video. That's what happened. And I don't want to do this again. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and want to do it again. But I kind of want to put these books back on the shelf. And not take them off ever again. But yeah, I'll just find a way to merge it. It's not a big deal. Here, let's look at it ourselves. Here, do it live. Okay. How to merge iPad videos. Not videos, videos. But I can't. Merge videos together. Of course, the Google AI says math problems. It's not a math problem. Okay. Hopefully this isn't the most recent update. I don't have. You gotta download something. Hopefully it's free. And I can, use it. Because my iPad is also old, and it can't do the newest updates. It's past, I think, iOS 16. Oh, this looks too new. Okay, what's it called? It's called CapCut. Okay. I think I can use CapCut without... I'm just going to go to the iPad. CapCut. App Store. Yes. App Store. Search. CapCut. Okay, so... Where's required for iOS updates? App review, what's new? App policy. Seller size, category compatibility. It says it works on this iPhone, so I think this is only slightly newer than the iPad. So wish me luck, you guys. You might have already seen it, and it's pretty obvious, but not to me. Yeah, a little bit annoying, but hey. Very long video. I like the long videos. Worst case, I'll just upload the two together, and I'll say in the description, I'll say everywhere else I can, hey, there's 2 videos for the end of the month comic haul. I'm gonna just video to 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna prowl on a little bit at the end here. I'm pissed, really pissed off, because again, it shouldn't be my fault. I shouldn't be to blame for the iPad being like, hey, we know this glitch keeps happening, but it's gonna keep it. We know this glitch. But even then, like the YouTube app, it was 6 gigabytes. Sure. Now I just say it's 6 gigabytes, but it still should have let me. I should have known until I uploaded the video and said, like, oh, and I checked the iPad storage just out of curiosity, saw that YouTube was 6 gigabytes, then deleted it, re-downloaded it. This guy does the same thing. I never have to worry about that. I don't film videos on here, but get the point. Like, I never have to worry about it on there. I don't know. And this has more storage than that guy does, the iPhone. I don't know. It's very annoyed. Because I was like doing really good too. And I'm so glad that there was no one else to hear me scream because I like yelled. Very annoyed. But again, all I gotta do, it's just because sometimes I feel like more people are gonna see part 1 than part 2. And I like it being complete. And yes, I find it ironic that it was basically 2 books, and that's why I didn't get for my birthday. It was all but 2 books that I got my birthday that I had for in the month. So May, at the beginning of the month, I got 2. I was trying to say is that at the beginning of the month of May, I got 2 books before my birthday haul, and my birthday haul was a big, huge stack of books. So it was kind of funny at the end of the video that got cut off was part of the first book, but still, it was 2 books I had to go over in this video. But that I say is that. My voice is about to go, so this video.